Hi guys, welcome back to another little channel. Today I'm going to show you how to build up your stash with little tiny envelopes of various sizes. Now I'm going to show you this on one sheet of paper, so if you only want a little stash of envelopes, you can do this the same as I'm doing it with all the sizes on one piece of paper. So the first thing you're going to do is fold your piece of paper in half. Now if you want to make sizes, a lot of sizes of each envelope, I would do one size per sheet of paper. So fold in half, and then you're going to fold this in half long ways too. Now this would be classed as the large envelope size, so you would stop here, put this aside, and fold another piece of paper the same way as this. Then to make the next size down, you would then fold in the edge of one sheet of paper to the middle. This is going to create your small square envelopes. So you would then do this to this whole sheet, put that aside and start again, getting back to this step. So there we go, we've got, for right now, 2 sizes of envelope, and I'm going to show you a third once we cut this up. So you would cut this up, as you can see. I'm going to cut off the large ones first, if I can use my blade properly. I'm going to cut off the large ones first. Okay, you're going to put that aside, then cut up the medium-sized ones. So if you were doing this as a full sheet of paper each, you would be cutting up into little piles of different sizes. But I'm just doing one sheet of paper, so I've got all the sizes on one sheet of paper. I hope that makes sense. I know it's very confusing. I could probably show you in another video what I mean by doing one sheet of paper per size, but I think you'll get it. So I'm cutting them up along every fold line, because they're your guides for cutting up your envelopes. Okay, so right now we've got the large size that we're going to use, and we've got a lot of mediums, but I'm going to split that little pile of mediums and make a smaller one too. Now you're going to curve the edges of your paper. I'm showing you here, you can use a round object if you don't have a punch, and you just set that on your paper. Move stuff out the way. You set that on the corner of your paper. It's right against snugly, and you would draw around the edge, leaving yourself a curve, and trim that with scissors. And you would do that on one end of every strip of paper. But I've got a punch, so I'm going to do it a punch. And if you've got a pile of them that you're doing at the same time, it enables you to do a little stack of them at one time. I like bulk making things, so most of the time when I create tutorials, it'll probably be to do things quickly like this, to make a blank bundle for you to decorate later. Now here is the little pile of all mediums. I'm going to cut them all at one time before I separate them, just for quickness. My little punch here can handle about up to 5 or 6 sheets of paper. Okay, so I'm going to show you here, the medium size envelope will be about this size. That's going to be your medium size envelope. But to make the small envelope, you're going to completely fold this sheet of paper in half, like so. So I'm just going to take a couple because I want a couple of small ones. I'm going to fold them in half, and then we're going to cut along that fold as well. And these are for the small size envelopes. So if you were doing a whole sheet of these, this fold would happen when you're still folding your paper. I feel like I might be confusing you here. But bear with me, and I'm also going to make sure one end has got curves on it too. Okay, so we've got our 3 sizes here from one sheet of paper: our large, our medium, and our small. Now it's really simple to assemble these. You're going to fold up the bottom edge, leaving yourself a little lip at the top. How far up is up to you, and then you're going to fold that down. Now you could stop at this step and just adhere the sides, but I'm going to show you what I do to make them more envelopey. This one turns out to be a little square pouch. Fold it up as much as you want, and that has a slightly bigger lip that comes down. And then the large one, once again, you fold up the bottom as far as you want. So your preference, how deep you want them to be, and then fold down that top. Now you could stop there if you want a really basic envelope, but what I like to do is then with a punch, for the first one, I'll show you the 3 ways I do this. Open up your strip and just take a little tiny edge out of the center of the envelope that goes under your lip. So when you fold it up, it looks like that. Or you could do it this way, where you're going to cut a little triangle shape into the envelope. So just see where my lip will cover to. Draw yourself just a little basic triangle that meets in the center. Cut that out with scissors. And there's the second style. Or you can take a pencil and draw yourself a slight curve, the deepest part being in the center and curving up to the edges to meet them. And you can just cut that out with scissors. That's kind of the 3 styles of the backs of the envelope that I do. Depends how many I want to make and how big they are. Now this little medium one, you don't need to leave the top of that curved. You could also turn that into a pointy envelope. I'll show you in a minute. Now the way I adhere them is just using a quick grab adhesive like this 3-in-1 craft glue. But I do have other methods of adhering them. I'm going to show you at the end of this video one of my preferred ways of actually sealing my envelopes. And the only place you need to put glue is this very back 2 sides here. 2 little strips of glue. You could use tape, and then you're going to use your fingernail to score along the fold edges to make them nice and crisp. You're going to fold down your top, make sure it's all aligned nice and straight before you do that really severe crisp fold. Now you have one perfect little envelope ready to be decorated. So the same with the other 2, you're just going to glue this very back end of it like so, and you can make these in anything you want: scrapbook paper, brown paper, tracing paper. This works with pretty much any kind of paper. The thicker the paper, the sturdier the envelope. Going to fold that up, fingers score it, fold that down, fingers score it. Okay, and this one. Now after I've done this, I'm going to show you how I would go about decorating these. If I was gonna, I wouldn't pre-glue all these in readiness. I would make them up in a little stash and keep them opened out and flat, and I'm going to show you in a minute. But for this one here, I'm going to show you how you can make this look a little bit more envelopey, the traditional sense, just by leaving yourself more than the little indent you made on the inside. You can see it through the paper, and trimming that into a triangle shape, so it still covers your opening, but it's the same shape as it, and it looks a little more like traditional envelopey, like so. Okay, so that's the 3 size envelopes, pure basic. I did them in white paper so that you could see them. They're just really cute, perfect for little pockets, perfect for stuffing in things. Now, like I said, I would decorate them at the stage where they are these strips. I would lay them out, and you can do so much to them. You can paint on them, you can stamp on them, you can, if you're making them out of scrapbook paper, you could be inking them. One of the things that I like doing with stuff like this is using a semi-thick paper and then Mod Podging napkin over the top. Book paper works really well for envelopes too. You can actually trace these onto card and make yourself permanent templates if you want to make single ones. Now, one of the ways that I adhere these, so I'm showing you here, you could even glue scrapbook paper onto them and make like a little patchwork envelope. I mean, the way you decorate totally depends on your style and your preference. One of the things I like to make these envelopes is out of the Amazon brown paper. I actually make these for my shop on Etsy. I sell jewellery and I sew them. There's no glue involved. I just fold up that strip, sew them. I do them so quick, and then I have a stash of them for when I'm selling my Etsy items. So there you go. There's a really basic way to bulk up your stash with ready to be used envelopes in 3 sizes. They're so quick and easy, just if you have a free moment or paper. And I'm just going to show you here that you could also make an even larger one just with a half strip of paper. It would end up a square like her medium sized envelope. You would just stop at 1 fold in your paper, and that would make you 2 envelopes. So I just like to build up a little stash of strips and then use them as required. I hope that was helpful, and if you liked this video, leave me a comment below. Thank you.